Hi, my name is Daniela Rabinovitz, and I just want to walk through this painting that I have, and I've titled this painting Tree Spirit. Now I want to show just a couple things. Of course, when we look at a painting, you might see totally different things in it, and that's very understandable because of course the images really reach deep within us and we get associations. So it sort of brings up things just by looking at a painting. It brings up things in our own subconscious level, things that are important to us, so things that our eyes are attracted to. And still, having said that, I would just like to look through this painting a little bit with you, guide you along a little bit as to what I see in this painting now that it's finished. So when I created this painting, I really started with movement and then color came into effect. So I didn't have a particular idea in mind, except that I was very, very inspired by the beech tree. And there are some things about the beech tree that very much inspired me, and that is the way that the roots are all connected together underground. Now you can't really see that. It's a tree that doesn't necessarily, draw the roots deep, deep in the ground, but it's more that they are spreading across each other. These trees really have a bond, a community with each other. Another thing that I found was really quite exciting that I discovered about this particular tree is that, especially in the springtime, if you look at the leaves and they're very soft, they have little bits of hair on the leaves. And these hairs are like antennas, and that's basically like our hair as well, can act as an antenna. So we can feel very connected, just really connected with each other and with ourselves and with a higher spirit. This connection inspires me very much about this tree. And so I didn't start off by painting a tree necessarily or drawing a tree, because this painting was very much done in movement, starting with charcoal and just seeing how it flows from there. And it's not that a form had to come up. It turns out that a form of sort of trees did come up. So I want to just show you a couple things here of things that I noticed when the painting was done. The first thing that I saw was that it looked like I saw two forms here, two definite forms that have a tree-like shape, and this form itself, if I look closer, it's almost like this form is like a head or like a being, and this one too. So I got a feeling of these two forms really communicating with each other, having a conversation. And then I kept looking more and more at it, and I just really, this painting gives me really the feeling of a core, just like a really raw core of an essence of an idea. And all of a sudden I saw, the interaction between these two figures. And it seemed to me at one point of, well, what is happening at this level? What is happening, under the surface? And so there's a lot of, squiggly marks here, and these are like the roots of the tree that are combined together, that are joining in together. And then it made me think about, there's that scenario of an iceberg, and you see the tip of the iceberg, but what's happening under there? So it's a similar idea of, well, we see what's happening here above the ground, but what's happening under the ground here? And so I can imagine that they're really connected. And I see some squiggles here and some little figures, perhaps running and chasing and just having fun, just playing together and just really communicating. And then I saw this figure here, and what if this figure was actually holding an object, because these shapes to me look very organic, almost like an organ. And so what if this figure is here with a head and is holding up something, and what if that something was a heart? And the reason that I came up with that, just by looking at it, all of a sudden, boom, this image came. And my apologies for for really setting this out, but then again, it's an image that I created, and it's an image that it has a lot of meaning to me, and this is something that came out of it, so this is something that I'm just really blessed to share with you. But the green stands really for our heart chakra, and our heart chakra is all about, you know, how we're sharing and receiving, giving and receiving from our heart, right? And so when this image came just up to the surface, no pun intended, but really up to the surface, it's like this figure, this person, this spirit is examining their own heart. So I'll have you just have another look at the whole painting. There's other elements here, so there's sort of another type of shape here. It's a little bit of a house form. This painting really gives me the whole impression of, you know, how is it when we really sketch something quick from a feeling that we have. Okay, so I have 3 tips for you. And the first tip is I want you to write down how you have opened your heart today. So perhaps you have shared something with somebody, or you have received something from somebody. So just write that down. Just write the first thing that comes to mind. So the second tip is to make a little sketch, make a little doodle about how that felt to open your heart today, so to give something or to receive something today. And that sketch is really all about giving a place for that inspiration. So this is also a sketch, and that I had really started from this inspiration, as I said, about this particular beech tree. And it really, a sketch is the rawest form of just getting something down onto paper. Doesn't matter what material you have, just grab that pencil or pen or whatever you have, or lipstick or whatever you have near you, and even a napkin, that's why they're called napkin sketches, or a piece of paper, or the finest paper that you might have. That's all fine. It's just we don't want the paper and the technique and the materials to come in the way. We just want to express. Okay, so for tip number 3 is share your sketch with somebody. So it can be the same person or it can be anybody else. Just really share it with somebody today. And for yourself, you can see what that feels like, and perhaps this is then a new rhythm that comes into your life, your daily life, in a way of appreciating the little things and opening your heart to give and to receive. So the receive part is also so important. It's the same thing as when creating a painting. We want to receive what we have, what the painting wants to offer us. So it's all about give and receive today. Thank you, Tree Spirit Painting, for helping us out here and showing us so much about how we can open up our heart and give and receive to others. Thank you. Till next time.